As y'all can see, we've already broke loose our hardware, which is a 14 millimeter. The tools you'll be needing for the crash bar itself is going to be a 14 millimeter wrench. You can use 2 wrenches or a wrench, a ratchet, and a socket. All 14 millimeter for the stock hardware. The backing nuts are 14 millimeter as well, and they go on the right side of the bike. These thread in directly to the frame, so no worry there. And basically you just break these guys loose and then take the nuts off on that side. What we recommend is go ahead and take out the back bolts all the way on each side. You can use bungee cords to hold this up. Mine just rests there on this stand. You remove the furthest back bolt on this side first, the same on this side. This trash bar out of the way. Ours is white and old and grungy, so excuse it if it looks ugly or chipped paint and whatnot. So on this crash bar, it has flex like this, and you will need to stretch it out. So I like to slide on the left side first, and then I'll grab the right side and pull up and just kind of align it with the holes. Ours is rattle can, so you'll see some of the paint flake off right now. But once you've done that, take the longer bolts that go on the left hand side or on the right hand side and go ahead and pass it through both the control and the crash bar. It helps to have 2 hands or a second set of hands, but if you don't, it just takes a little jiggling and you'll get there. So we already ran this bolt through on this side. We're gonna go ahead and I'll hold this brake or this gear shifter up, and then I'll just pivot the crash bar until it's in a position where I can see through, and then I'll run the shorter bolt that goes on this side in into the frame and just thread it a few threads. Just 2 or 3 threads is all you need. And now she's not gonna go anywhere. Now that you got that done, go ahead and remove the bolt that's up front on both sides. Once you've done that, start installing your new hardware. All you have to do is pick up the crash bar, pull your control out, and it slides right into place. Hopefully the camera's aligned right now. We're about to find out. You have to wiggle around a little bit, get it aligned. Just pierce the bolt through the hole. Same thing on this side. Take your new hardware, line up your control, lift up a little bit if you need to on the crash bar from the front, and then from there you just start threading. Once you've threaded them on this side, you can take your nut and put it on the back of the other side. Now we take our nut, same one that comes with the stock hardware, and just go ahead and thread it on the back. And do the same with the other one. I'll run the crash bar up and forward because it does slide back and forth. It has slotted holes for that reason. I have mine positioned here. 12 millimeter on the Pro Bolt hardware, but if you're getting the regular crash bar hardware, it's going to be a 14 millimeter, which will be this guy. So I lift up on my crash bar and I start to ease that bolt in. I don't go all the way tight, that way I can still move it around and adjust it as needed, using the wrench as the backing nut, or for the backing nut. And I start to get it close. Once it's where I want it to be, I'll take a look from the front of the bike Make sure it's set where I want. I see it's sagging a little bit on the right, so then I'll just lift up on the right, and I think that'll be about right. And then I'll go ahead and start to tighten the back bolts. Let's take a look. That looks about in line with the bike. Lift up on it a little bit more. Right about there. And now we'll tighten this one. We'll go back to the other side and make any micro adjustments we need to be made if we need them. This side looks good to me, so we're gonna go ahead, tighten down. So now she's on there, she's tight, she's stable, she doesn't move up or down or front to back. Whoa, this lift is a cheap one, so sorry. Now we'll go ahead and do the sliders, and all it is a bolt with a washer. I put in an extra washer because these bolts, we had a hardware issue where the bolts came in and they weren't threaded back far enough on the shank. So if you have to, add an extra washer, slide it in there. See if y'all can see. Yeah, okay. And then just start the thread. Once the thread is started, you can get your ratchet on there. We're using an impact for the sake of not making this video an eternity long, and then just start to run it in. And you see how it's spinning. When it stops spinning, it's because it's met with the crash bar. You don't want it to spin. Be sure you tighten it enough where it does not spin. These are not meant to spin. I know some of you guys like to run skateboard wheels and stuff, and you like the spinning factor, but these do not spin. They're meant to wear away. So we've tightened that side. We'll go to this side and do the same thing. All right, she's good to go.